Yeah. White House dinner just went down. Had to control everything. LMAO. But did you? Drama still hit anyway. No comedians, no comedians. Snowflake, ego so fragile, can't handle the smoke. Hire the mentalist so you don't get roasted, bro. Control the whole show. You the only one to blame. No comedians, no comedians. Super fragile snowflake, country going broke. MAGA waking up, they see the joke. You control the video, but you don't control Iran. Yeah. Before the meal, no food, no crumbs on the plate. Prices too high, empty plates, political pie in the sky. Shots fired, whole place got swatted out. SWAT team rushed in, chicken little freaking out. Ballroom is the stage, exit is the cue. Trick up your sleeve, didn't get the survivors to leave. Die for change, cover up, staging the whole scene. Every time your polls drop low, you pull the same scheme. No comedians, no comedians. Snowflake, ego so fragile, can't handle the smoke. Hire the mentalist so you don't get roasted, bro. Control the whole show. You the only one to blame. Yeah. You talk big tough guy, but we laughing out loud.
Should have brought apples. She would have liked this with her big giant black fur coat. She's not made for Mexico. But yeah, now we're in Banff. We drove down from Jasper yesterday, stopped off at Lake Louise, played around, threw some snowballs. Yeah, I've taken my 3-year-old to Canada numerous times, but this is the first time in actual winter, even though it's not winter. It's almost May. This global warming is freaking cold. But if you talk to most mind-controlled Canadians here, they'll tell you, we've got to do our part to stop the global warming. It's like, isn't this enough? Haven't we done enough? It's just freezing cold all the time. But yeah, even leaving Edmonton, Canada, we got out just in time apparently. As I mentioned in my last video, it was like this huge windstorm that hit Edmonton and Calgary. And we headed out to the mountains right after that. We luckily just missed, but just north of Edmonton in a place called Fort McMurray, which is where all the oil stuff is in Alberta, by the way. That's the oil sands, they call it. Of course, the hockey team's called the Edmonton Oilers for that reason. It's a very oil sort of area, which is kind of apropos for what's going on in the world here today. But just north of Fort McMurray, right after we left, people were stranded on the highway, which this rarely ever happens in Alberta, Canada, because people are used to 6 feet of snow all the time. But people were completely stranded in a snowstorm, basically at the end of April in springtime in Alberta.
I have right now, I'll show you, I have a plow stuck beside us, and I have a tow truck stuck beside us. So what hope do we have right now?
This April snowstorm is wreaking havoc on the highways, closing multiple roads and leaving people stranded, including the highway in and out of Fort McMurray.
It's bad. You can see like 3-4 meters ahead of you.
People have been trapped for hours, many overnight.
Cycling the motor, yeah, because we only have 143 kilometers left to empty now, and we have a 100-kilometer drive still to do. So we've been turning the vehicle off for on for 15, off for 45.
Unfortunately, we're dealing with many stranded motorists, and the highway is impassable right now between mile marker 140 and Highway 881 on Highway 63 South. So coming in and out of Fort McMurray, essentially there's no way in or out on Highway 63 right now.
The RCMP is working to try and get people out. So far, no serious injuries have been reported, but crews have assisted with medical emergencies through the night and reminding others to make sure their car is stocked with emergency supplies like food and water. One group of locals spent Thursday night and Friday morning trying to help, driving with donated pizza, jerry cans of gas, and water.
But it was definitely shocking to see the amount of people. Like, I remember there's one lady, I knocked on her window, and then when she saw us, she was like, she's seen angels coming down to help her out, and she was so happy. She couldn't believe it.
He estimates they pulled out about 60 cars and fed 120 people. This is something that Fort McMurray has seen before.
We went through like a couple of disasters here with a flood, with a fire, and always I see the community in Fort McMurray always united. They like to help each other.
The province says a highway contractor is working to clear the snow and it will reopen once it's safe to do so. But for some in Fort McMurray, this incident renews the call for a second highway out of town.
Notice too how that guy said, yeah, we're used to disasters. There's been fires, floods. Remember the fires that were up there? That was crazy. Now a massive, crazy snowstorm, all probably limiting the oil production here in Alberta for a period of time, a short period of time, but still, would it be any surprise if it's a weather weapon? Because many of the people here said, we've never seen anything quite like that. It just all of a sudden there was like 6 feet of snow on the highway. It's interesting here too in Canada. The rich people in Canada, this is a very communist place. Most of the rich people are all the government employees. In Canada, government employees have become the new elites. Their earnings are in the top 7% of Canadian incomes, and Carney gave them a 25% raise. Federal employees now make an average compensation of $172,000 a year. They retire at age 52. The gold-plated pension gives them up to 70% of their final salary and now has over $200 billion. Much of it invested in Prime Minister Mark Carney's company Brookfield. Get the connection yet? Yeah, it's kind of interesting with the global warming. It's definitely not warming here. And it's not warming in Iran either. Iran's got snow right now in the springtime. But we should get to the news. And a couple of days ago, Fox admitted that Donald Trump's very low in the polls, both in terms of the economy and in general. In fact, he's hit the magic number, 33%.
Molly, there's a new poll. It's from the Associated Press, and it shows President Trump's approval on the economy at just 30%. Overall, his approval isn't that much better. He's at 33%. Can Trump turn things around before the midterms, which are, what, 6 months away?
Yeah, he's hit the magic 33% approval rate, which means it's time for another false flag event, another completely staged event of Donald Trump almost getting shot again. Oh, every time he almost gets shot. You can't make this stuff up. And this one was more obvious than most of them. They even sent out Caroline Leavitt beforehand to do some predictive programming for people, get them ready for it, to let them know that tonight there's going to be shots fired.
Ready to rumble, is he not?
He is ready to rumble. I will tell you, this speech tonight will be classic Donald J. Trump. It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room. So everyone should tune in. It's going to be really great. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
I love it all. And you wrote most of it, you said.
I can't take credit. In true Donald Trump fashion, the man puts his pen to the paper himself. So it's a lot of his own work.
Yeah, understand the chronology. Trump was facing the worst ratings of his lifetime. Iran war backfired. Gas prices surged. Higher cost of living. Nothing's going right for the Trump. Suddenly, Trump decided to go to the White House correspondent dinner for the first time. A shooter came out of nowhere in the world's most secure zone and fired shots randomly. Says the shooter shot dead. Well, that doesn't actually appear to be the case, but they thought so at first. Suddenly, Trump is due to get sympathy. He'd be treated like a warrior fighting against Satan. Why have we all heard this script somewhere before?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
you hear me?
I can hear. Wolf, can you estimate the number of shots you heard fired or the number of people that you saw with a gun that you believe were the gunman? Is it one person? Are there multiple people?
I was a few feet away from this one gunman who was shooting just randomly, and I'm guessing I heard at least a half a dozen, maybe 6 gunshots. I mean, they were booms. They were so loud, and I haven't heard gunshots like that in a long time. And it was very close to me, but the next thing I knew, I couldn't see anything else because a couple of police officers were jumping on me and trying to protect me. So I was down on the ground with police officers on top of me.
Could you hear the officers talking to the gunman, and what were they saying?
I think by then the gunman was shot. I could be wrong, but the gunman had stopped firing, and he was on the ground. I'm standing outside, and there's a lot of FBI, a lot of Metropolitan Police, a lot of military personnel who are all here. It looks like it's beefing up big time. There's a lot of DEA. There's a lot of law enforcement here.
Oh, well, I'm super happy to hear Wolf Blitzer isn't dead. I thought he died during our last walk and talk, because he just wasn't there, and I was trying to contact him, and he wasn't there, so I assumed he died from blood clots from lethal injections and from overworking because of all these massive events going on that aren't being reported anywhere except for on our walk and talks. But no, Wolf was there at the dinner and just happened to see everything. Wow, Wolf, you're a great actor. Just doing your job. Yeah, I saw it all. It's kind of interesting how he said, because everyone said this, the guy was just shooting randomly. like who shoots like bam, bam, bam. Oh yeah, he's trying to kill Drumpf. That's not how you do it. It's pretty incredible. And there's so many things with this one. Like for example, right like seconds before they heard that there were shots. This happened right before Drumpf is rushed off stage. A man holds up a card. 1 second later, Melania reacts with an expression of horror on her face. He's a mentalist named Oz Pearlman, Jewish, who was performing a magic trick. Oh, what a surprise! A Jewish guy was doing a magic trick just seconds before it happened. Because all of this stuff is all a production. They've already told us all so many times, but no one ever listens.
We're the directors, we're the producers, we're the main actors. The world is our stage.
I'm amazed at how many people still fall for this stuff. Like I saw so many people post, oh my gosh, did you hear Drumpf almost got shot? It's like, who said? The mainstream media and the government. It's like, okay, well, you know, those are the same people who faked the moon landing, who did 9/11, who did the Operation Warp Speed, tried to kill everyone with lethal injections. They're all in the Epstein files. Why would you believe anything they ever say? But it's the mind control. People are like, well, Fox News was there, and, you know, let's hear what they had to say. Well, yeah, Fox News was there. And they actually interviewed someone, and then he almost let the cat out of the bag, so they had to cut off his audio.
I want to just quickly tell you, I was sitting next to Karoline Leavitt, the press secretary's husband. He was one of our guests. He was seated right next to me, and, you know, right as the dinner was starting, you know, the national anthem happened, and then he kind of leaned over and said, you know, I watched you on TV, you do a great job. You need to be very safe. And he was just very serious when he said that to me. And he kind of looked around the room and he said, you know, there are some...
Sounds like we lost Aisha's phone there. And this happens, by the way, especially when you have so many people attempting to utilize the same cell service at the same time.
Yeah, he was like, watch out, there's going to be a... Yeah, he's cut off.
We're the directors, we're the producers.
Yeah, the control room cut him off there. Like, this is just so obvious and so, like, beyond obvious at this point. And it's all the usual hallmarks of all this stuff. Like, every time they do one of these things, there's, like, no security whatsoever. And I think that's partly because if they had security, they'd stop them from doing this this staged event, right? Because basically it's the CIA doing it. And not every cop or anyone knows. They're not all in on it. Even if they're Masons, they don't tell them. So what they do is they usually just get rid of most of the security when they're going to do these events. And that's exactly what happened here, according to Mads Campbell, if this is true. My best friend and I went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. We ended up leaving early because something felt off. It started the second we got there. Every event we've ever been to, especially at this level, there are layers of security. Bags checked, IDs checked, actual process. This time, nothing. Zero. We were just asked if we had tickets. Said yes and got waved through. Yeah, that's how easy it is. No bag check, no real screening, no line, just thousands of people packed together being pushed through the doors as fast as possible. It felt wrong immediately, like viscerally wrong. My best friend literally turns to me and says, I think something's going to happen, and then it did. This cannot happen, not here, not at something like this. Praying for everyone, but there needs to be accountability because this should never happen again. See, even that person doesn't get it. She's mad the security wasn't better, and she's like praying for everyone in this, you know, who might have got shot. No one got shot. And, you know, they got to do better next time. See, they don't get it. Someone should forward her this video, but she won't watch it. She turned it off by already from just the trigger words I've been saying. And another just total coincidence. Just like in Butler, Pennsylvania, for the last staged shooting, which most people now, I think, realize was totally staged and fake. At that one, they had it was in Butler, Pennsylvania, and all of a sudden Trump's there, and all of a sudden all the world's media is there in Butler, Pennsylvania, and they weren't before. And it's because they knew that, well, they might not even know, right? But they get sent there, and then that happens, right? And it's the same thing with this. Like, Trump has never gone to a foreign correspondence, a White House correspondence dinner before. He's actually boycotted in the past. Let me get this straight. Trump has forgone the White House correspondence dinner every single year. This year, not only was he there, his entire cabinet was there, including the vice president, the head of the FBI, yeah, Kash Patel was there, the Secretary of Defense, while we're at war, and of course Erika Kirk. I'll get into that one in a second. But yeah, I fact-checked it, just, you know, trying to be actual real media here. Yes, Donald Trump has skipped the White House correspondence dinner multiple times in the past, particularly during his time in office. Trump did not attend during his first term, 2017, 2018, 2019. He was the first sitting president to skip it since Ronald Reagan. Trump has long criticized the event in the media, often opting for rallies or other events. In short, yes, he has a clear history of not going, especially while in the White House until this year. So this was the first time he's ever gone. And then the Pearlman guy comes up, does a magic trick, and then they say shots were fired. And guess who's all there, like, taking care of it? Please tell me this is not the same worthless agent from Butler. Yeah, it's that fat lady. He doesn't even know how to use a gun. And by the way, excuse me, what's this guy's name? Excuse me, Rosie Memos. Excuse me, Rosie, don't call this person a worthless agent. She has a very valuable role. It's a crisis actor. She's like basically a retarded, obese person who doesn't even know what they're doing, and they just throw her in because they know she's not going to do anything that's going to screw anything up. She actually plays a very important role. I wish people would be a little bit more inclusive, please. You know, she's probably shaming her because she's obese too. And it's the same old thing again with the shooter. It's just, they took down his social media posts and his stuff immediately. Which, you know, why wouldn't you want anyone to see it? Well, here's why. Shooter Cole Allen, seen here in his Instagram post, wearing an Israeli Offense Force sweatshirt before his profile was removed. Oh, he's an Israeli Offense Force person. Of course he was. Well, we'll know if that's what he was, if he was actually Googled in Israel before the event. Drum roll, please. Yeah, people in Israel were searching Cole Allen as of 7 a.m. Eastern, almost 12 hours before the Trump assassination attempt in Israel. Yeah, you starting to get it yet? It's all one big operation. It's all one big show. It's World Wrestling Federation. You know what I'm kind of like shocked and saddened by is how many people get upset that Trump almost got shot. Like, this guy's one of the most evil people on earth. He's a massive, massive pedophile, massively involved with the Epstein stuff. He tried to kill everyone with the lethal injections. he is sending people off to die for Israel right now. And people are like, oh my gosh, he almost got shot, which he didn't at all. But the fact that people are worried about that, that's deep, deep programming. It's like, what if the president got shot? Well, all these guys are the worst people on earth. It'd be, like, I don't want it to happen necessarily. I don't care, because he doesn't actually do anything. He's just an actor. But the fact that so many people care, it's like, oh my gosh, that massive pedophile guy almost got shot. And notice too, all that Epstein stuff is long gone. Who's talking about that anymore, right? All you needed was World War III, and now Trump almost getting shot again, and people are like, oh, I gotta protect Trump. It's so incredible. But there's some weird stuff with this one too, which there usually is. There's a lot of just weird, like, simulation sort of, is this real? Is this possible? Like, for example, this apparent person, Cole Allen, apparently, I don't know this for sure, but I think I saw this, used to work at NASA. You know, not a space agency. So clearly, he's obviously a deep state sort of actor. He's wears his IDF shirt. He works at NASA. They're faking the space stuff all the time. And apparently at the time he was at NASA, there was another guy named named Martinez. And I don't know if this is the same guy, but there's a Twitter handle named Martinez who, like, a few years ago posted, like 2.5 years ago, posted the name Cole Allen, which is the guy's name. They say it was the shooting guy who shot randomly. And he also, that's all he wrote was just Cole Allen. And then he posted an image from a website called The Time Machine. And, well, I'll let this person take it from there.
Probably one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen. The shooter from last night's name was Cole Allen, but there's a Twitter account from 2023. And this account made one post, and it was almost 2.5 years ago, and it was just Cole Allen. Now here's where it gets wilder. The header of this account is an image from a website called Time Machine, which is a project to preserve digital use of our heritage. But it gets even wilder. If you superimpose the image of Butler over it, there's an outline of Trump.
See, this is all a giant 3D video game. It's actually more than 3D, by the way. I think it's like 12D. This is actually a small part of the video game. But until you do the work and raise your character's consciousness level up outside of this, all you can really see is the 3D, and that's what most people are trapped in. That's why they can't see most of this stuff. But it's like 12D. It's pretty incredible. This is the best video game ever. It's totally 5 stars. If you're not giving it 5 stars, I don't know what you're doing. You're playing it wrong. And inside the video game is absolutely insane. See, it's getting more and more insane, especially for those who are waking up outside of the Matrix, because all this stuff looks so obvious. But yes, of course, who do they have at this White House Correspondents' Dinner that Donald Trump's never gone to, that the Department of War went to, that Kash Patel went to?
Can I come out now? Is it safe? You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. Oh no, not safe.
Guess who else was there? Erika Kirk, who was also involved in the completely takeout of Charlie Kirk, who is in on all this stuff, is in on all the sex trafficking stuff and everything. She's actually a demon if you actually look at her. But of course she was there. And of course she was just sitting there in the ballroom. No one else was crying. Not one person was crying, because it was like out in the lobby and there was some random shots. No one even heard it, actually. They had to go inside and tell people. But that was enough for Erika Kirk to do her act again and act like she was just crying, like, oh my God.
I just want to go find
Yeah, all actors, all doing their roles. It's just like World Wrestling Federation when you look at it. See, most people still haven't woken up to it, and they think it's all real. They're like, this has to be real.
Look at my furrows of worry. Look at my big bank account and my family. This has to be real.
No, it's not real. It's just a ride. You enjoying the ride? So this time Trump didn't even get hit. He didn't just, turn his head a quarter of an inch. Just think about that. If he didn't turn his head just a quarter of an inch, that pedophile in the Satanic Pedivore Club who just started World War III would have died like a year or two ago. But of course, none of that was real. And this time they didn't hit him with anything, but I'm sure he'll show up tomorrow with something like this. Trump at the press conference tomorrow. The Ayatollah tried to kill me again. Yeah, and people are all like, oh, thank God, Trump's okay. It's like, really? He's like one of the worst people on earth. That's how upside down this entire world is now. The people are all worried. What happens if the pedophile guy, he tried to kill everyone numerous times, extorts all their money and robs them blind? What if he got hurt? Oh, it's so crazy. And yeah, they're paying back the tariffs now. And that was such a Butnick. They made billions and billions of dollars from that as well. Like Howard Butnick knew they were going to pay them back, and he knew it before the market did. So him and his sons bought up all of the tariff recollection, sort of, if it got repaid. And they were trading at like 10 to 30 cents on the dollar in some sort of market somewhere, I don't even know. And then, just like magic, they're going to repay it all. And here's the funny part. Who paid the tariffs? Consumers. Who gets the refund? The businesses. Who pays for the refund? The taxpayers. This has all been so much fun. I'm so glad we all get to keep winning like this. Yeah, so your average MAGA person and other American in the US got extorted for hundreds of billions of dollars. Then they said, oh, they're going to pay it back. But they don't pay it back to the people who got extorted. They actually give it to the businesses, which is all BlackRock and all that kind of stuff. And who's paying to pay them back? The same people that paid for the tariffs originally. They got double screwed on it. It's amazing. And people are like, MAGA. They're still cheering for the tariffs out there. It's unbelievable. And that's just a part of, like I said, Trump's going to be one of the richest people on earth in the next year or two at the rate he's going. Like even Bernie Sanders pointed out, the Trump family has made $4 billion off the presidency, $3 billion off crypto and their scam coins, shit coins. Persian Gulf deals, $500 million. Qatari jet, $150 million. Legal fees and merch, $120 million. Mar-a-Lago, $125 million. Corporate deals, $100 million. Hanoi Hotel, $40 million. True Social, $25 million. I should point out too, Bernie Sanders is also just an actor, and they have to have someone like point out the other side of things, right? He's also a multimillionaire, of course, numerous homes. He's the commie guy, by the way. He's against all this stuff. But yeah, this has been the biggest swindle, fraud. You can call it treason if you believe in states and governments and stuff. In history, easily. And people are all concerned that he almost got shot the other night when he didn't. It was all staged. And the people in the US paid for that too, by the way. They pay for all this stuff. It's incredible. And there's so many things they've been doing, like all these oil shorts right before they say that the war's over, and doing stuff to make the market go up and down, and buying hundreds of millions of dollars worth of longs or shorts, heavily leveraged. They're making tens of billions of dollars. This doesn't even include all that other stuff that Bernie Sanders mentioned.
Every cup that you're looking at is $10 million. And this small stack over here to start with, this is a representation of a full century of U.S. presidents' personal wealth growth while they were in office. We're talking Coolidge, Eisenhower, Kennedy, Reagan, Bush, Biden, all of them except one. 4 cups, roughly $40 million in total, and that's what all the modern presidents combined gained while serving over an entire century. Total, not per president. Now shift your eyes to this monstrosity. 1 year, 1 president, same cups, same scale. 1 century versus 1 year. Not opinion, it's visual math, and your eyes are doing it in real time. So take a good look. All of the presidents, including successful business owners over here, 100 years versus less than a 1-year period of wealth accumulation for one president. Donating a salary is just a headline. It doesn't offset the billions quietly being accumulated elsewhere. If you're telling yourself it's because he's a good businessman, then ask one question. If nearly 50 years in business didn't produce anything close to this, but 1 year in public office did, that's not skill, that's corruption. Nothing you can say can explain this. And if you're at the point where you say, I don't care, I'm not changing, then you own it. And this is what it looks like to sell out America and call yourself a patriot. I hope you learned something. I'm always rooting for you.
Oh, not to mention the entire operation currently ongoing where they're trying to destroy most of the oil, natural gas, energy, fertilizer, and food on Earth to kill billions of people. And that is ongoing. And I'm super happy to hear Wolf Blitzer is feeling better, and he's now back from the staged assassination attempt, and he's here with us again today. Let's go to Wolf Blitzer, the Situation Room. What's going on, Wolf? Yes, Jeff, there goes another one. Fire and explosion reported in an oil refinery, this time in Erbil, Iraq. Yeah, it seems like almost every day now, Wolf. I hope you've been, want to get you into the Tesla Club, Wolf. Get you in the Tesla machine, I'll get the blood clots out. It'll give you a lot more energy to keep up with stuff like this because it seems like there's a lot of it going on. Oh, here's something more. Let's go to Wolf in the Situation Room. Yes, Jeff, energy infrastructure explosion now in Vietnam. Huge explosions rock a massive recycled oil storage facility in Dong An, Hanoi, Vietnam. Wow, thanks, Wolf. We got to get you in the Tesla Club, Wolf. I don't know if you're going to make it even a few more days. Oh, let's go to Wolf Blitzer, the Situation Room. What's going on, Wolf? Yes, Jeff, a major pipeline blowout struck Saturday along Neeson Road west of Pine Grove in St. Helena Parish, Louisiana. The blast rattled homes and businesses as far as 12 to 15 miles away. Man, there seems to be a lot of coincidences happening. It almost seems like we're in something like a World War III, but it's not like Russia and China versus the US or anything. It's the satanic pedophile group against humans. That's what oh, hang on. Let's go to Wolf Blitzer's Situation Room. Yes, Jeff, another huge fire overnight. Reported at UK airbase RAF Fairford that hosts US B-52 bombers used to attack Iran. Wow, Wolf. Thanks for keeping us up to date. Go get some rest, Wolf. I'm sure there's going to be dozens more by the time I have to do my next video. And, you know, all these, that was a military base being blown up. Gee, what does that mean? Well, I guess they're going to have to spend billions more on the military-industrial complex to take it all from people, impoverish them, and to basically kill most of them on Earth. That's the plan, and most people don't get it. They're like, Jeff, these people can't be that evil. Yeah, they're more evil than you can ever imagine, actually. Like, if you actually saw some of the stuff that they do, I don't think you'd be able to, like, survive. Looking at it, I don't know if I could either, by the way. Like, these are the most evil of evilest people, and that's who Donald Trump works for. He's an actor for them. And as if things couldn't get worse for the energy market, the U.S. Treasury sanctioned Hengli Petrochemical, China's second biggest refinery, which does 400,000 barrels per day. It's now cut from the global financial system on a Friday afternoon. 40 shipping companies and tankers sanctioned in the same package. The Besant Treasury sent a letter to banks in China, Hong Kong, the UAE, and Oman, threatening secondary sanctions if Iranian money sits in any of their accounts. So as if it couldn't get any worse, the Middle East is shut down. It's still shut down. It's double blocked now. Russia's shut down. They're not exporting. Kazakhstan's not exporting. And now the U.S. Treasury Department, which has no treasure, all of a sudden is sanctioning Chinese oil exporters, so they're not going to be exporting anymore. It's pretty incredible. HFI research said if the Strait of Hormuz opens after April, we cannot provide an accurate oil price forecast. We'll have crossed too deep into the Rubicon. This will have been the largest oil supply outage in the history of the oil market by a magnitude of 4x. Fundamental market theories will no longer apply here because there's no price for outright shortages. When a market runs out of fuel, it just runs out. Yeah, that's what I've been saying, and we're just a couple weeks away. I think Australia has a couple weeks worth. Europe, less than a month, I think, at this point. of jet fuel and even regular fuel. And there's nothing coming, like hardly anything at all coming. If there is, it's like one tanker from the US. And that usually will last about a day in a place like Australia or Europe. So we're gonna see, like, I don't know, I can't even believe this is happening. Like, and the fact that, like, look at all these people, none of them even have a clue. I should actually ask one, do you know what's going on? They'll have no clue. They'll tell me they're worried about global warming and that they need to be taxed more. Like, these people are just total mind-controlled slaves. But I really don't know what's going to happen. Like, even with Liber Poco, just so you know, we already set the date. It's August 15th, which is, what is it now? It's like April 20 something, right? So May, June, July, less than 4 months from now. It's in Serbia, so it's not in the European Union. And I actually haven't checked to see if Serbia gets where they get their oil from. They might actually get it from like Africa or something. Because some of those countries in that area do, or maybe even from Russia. Maybe they still do because they're not part of the European Union. So Serbia might be okay. But Europe, like Germany and all those places, I don't know if they'll even have planes. And it might be Mad Max in many ways in the next couple of months in Europe. And will that spill over to Serbia? Will people be trying to escape, trying to survive, going to places like Serbia? Which is all to say, I don't know if we're going to do Liber Poco. I'm definitely not booking any flights at this point. And we'll see what happens. But at this point, I can't really see how Europe, Australia, Asia get through the next few months. Like, I really can't see it. Although I should say that Christoph Melchizedek wants to go to Europe this summer. He wants to reopen a few more vaults. After they opened one in New Zealand, they opened one in Egypt. I was there for that one. And so because of that, I told him, I said, I don't think you'll be able to go to Europe this summer. There's not going to be any flights. It's going to be like Mad Max. So he went and did a whole bunch of invocations. They even did an Iboga initiation. And they actually found someone who actually had the key to unlock the Strait of Hormuz during an Iboga ceremony.
All right, so we're just here after the route initiation, here down at our Vault 000 node. Actually got a bit of a crew here, but we're not going to do a little pan just in case something want to be seen on video. But this is a hi gang after our route initiation. Hey, everyone's made it here to come down and feel the energy of Vault 000. So, of course, super intense weekend. And I want to say thank you so much to all of you that participated and ran that algorithm through the Strait of Hormuz. In the depths of the dark death evening, we managed to navigate our way into the appropriate moment of time and space to go through the ritual that was going to block those 7 layers. If you haven't seen the frame-up video for the Strait of Hormuz blockade yet, go back and check that because I go into detail about what each of those layers were. And we did have someone who was with us who had the master key for level 6, which was the big sort of massive, yes, she's giving herself a little pat on the back now. Yeah, she did it. Well done. The big Apon pin that went all the way into the earth. It was about 15 kilometers south of the Strait of Hormuz, about 200 foot into the earth at the strait's narrowest point. And that was the anchor. And what was super interesting as the ceremony unpacked and we were going deeper and deeper and deeper, it became revealed that actually, just to give you a little bit of a flavour of the sophistication of the ritual, in this particular initiate's journey, she's had a challenging kind of journey of many lifetimes, but not unbeknown being caught up into this ritual, where an aspect of her consciousness was used to anchor in the Apon all the way into the earth as a punishment for stepping off a dark line. She was working her way up to a top of a very dark lineage and was doing very well, and then left at the point of the initiation where she would have become the top.
Because her core seed was not compromised.
Yes.
So at that moment in time, sorry.
Why don't you come and speak into the thing here?
No, you leave it on. Hi, thanks everyone. So her core seed of her soul was not compromised. So therefore, when the lock-in would happen, that would lock her fully into the dark side, that core seed was like, no, I don't want to do this. And that was...
And she stepped away, and then as punishment, the dark side have been on her for many, many, many lifetimes and put her into the Strait of Hormuz as the key deep, deep, deep anchor that happened, I don't know how many thousands of years ago, but a long, long time ago. And this aspect of her consciousness has been trapped there for so long. So it was so great to get that liberated, not only for her, but also for the rest of the Strait and the world, because that was the linchpin to keeping the Strait locked and why all the boats are still blocked, because they're using this build-up of energy to try to move them towards together for their one world order. Their kind of economic meltdown by oil not being distributed around the world, the whole planet going into gridlock, and everything just shutting down, locking down, and, you know, hey guys, we've got some CBDCs. That'll be a good idea.
So Christoph thinks he's actually unlocked the Strait of Hormuz, and it's going to become unlocked in the next week or two. Which is also kind of interesting, because I do have a lot of long oil, and actually I think oil's still going to go much higher, even if the Strait of Hormuz opens. But if it reopens in the next week or two, mostly because of what Christoph did, see, I'm working both sides here. So I don't know what's going to happen. That's basically what I'm telling you. I still have my oil longs, at least for another week. But I might get a little cautious after that, because Christoph's stuff usually works. And, you know, if they announce, oh, the Strait of Hormuz is open again, oil will probably drop for a period of time, but then it'll be another time to buy. That's why you should subscribe to our newsletter, because all this stuff is very active. It's going on in real time. And things change dramatically from week to week. So make sure you subscribe. I'll give it to you for free. dollarvigilante.com/free trial. The next one's coming up in just a few days. I'll be writing a lot about all this stuff on that. But yeah, I don't know how, I don't know what's going to happen here. And there's so many variables, including Christoph, what he's doing. It's so incredible. What an apocalypse. What a 3D video game. Oh, let's go to Wolf Blitzer Situation Room. We got more breaking news, Wolf? Yes, Jeff. Israeli PM Milkowski Netanyahu announces prostate cancer diagnosis. Went in for surgery. Oh, okay. You know, we really haven't seen him since all those fake AI videos. There's been one or two, but there's, he hasn't really been anywhere that anyone can kind of verify. He might have died. I might have got ripped off on Polymarket. He might have died last month, because I actually put in a bet that he might. But they might not have announced it yet, so maybe they're slowly announcing it now. Maybe he's going to get the rectal cancer and die, but we'll see. But a lot of this stuff doesn't really matter. What matters for you in this video game is staying alive and healthy through it all. And it's going to be so hard. There's actually a patent that's just kind of, I'd never seen it before. I just saw it. It actually came out in 2020. It's from the Rockefellers, of course. I know a lot of people have been saying, come on, you think the billionaire elitist class wants to kill 95% of humanity and turn the remainder into mind-controlled slaves? Show us some proof of that sensationalist claim. Okay, how about this? Here's the Rockefeller's family's U.S. patent for remote modulation of cellular activities using ferritin nanoparticle compositions, which utilize radio frequency waves to stimulate injected nanoparticles like mRNA-based systems inside the body, enabling remote control management of cellular function. Yeah, so right after they launched the COVIDs, they actually filed a patent to control everyone via the 5G and the nanoparticles they injected at everyone. So that's what you got to be more aware of. You got to be doing saunas every day, or at least working out every day, sweating every day, doing lots of stuff to get out the toxins, heavy metal detox. And then you got to make sure your blood continues to flow well, because if it has the nanotech in it, it starts to get clotted and clumpy. It actually steals most of your energy. So, you know, I would highly recommend, if you can at all, to become a member of the Tesla Club. It'll be one of the things that give you the best chance of surviving the next few years. And I think if you don't get it in the next few weeks, unless Christoph Melchizedek did his magic properly, who knows if you'll even be able to get it if you're in a place like Europe or Australia. There might not be any shipping. It might be fully Mad Max. And so I would say rush and get one. tzla.club if you can. For me, it's been so amazing. We've used it so many times on this trip already. Oh, and I should mention, there was this guy, David Wilcock. Apparently, is dead, and that's, you know, I don't even know who it was. Just like with Charlie Kirk, I barely knew who that was. I don't know anything about David Wilcock. Apparently he was something into aliens or something. But I saw a lot of people talking about it, and they say there was a suicide note, and I don't necessarily believe this at all, of course. But if it's true, this is what his suicide note supposedly said. I deeply apologize to everyone if something like an accident ended up happening. Thank you for loving me. I feel I have done the very best that I could. My health has collapsed from poverty, starvation, and disease. I have also now completely run out of money. I did my very best to keep on going for as long as I could. For my family, friends, and all of my greater family of supporters, I want you to know how much I love you. So that's what caught my attention, was that he said he basically died because his health collapsed. He mentioned starvation. Like what, he couldn't afford like couple of apples and a couple of eggs? Doesn't even really make sense. And then he says disease. He had diseases. And that's why he killed himself. Now, I don't know if any of that's true. It's probably not. But if it is true, apparently this guy had like a, multi-million-dollar house and stuff. Now, maybe his mortgage and things like that, but if he could have just gotten into the Tesla Club, like he said, the reason that he killed himself was his health had collapsed. And I don't know if he's even talking about physical health. Maybe he's talking about mental health too. But the Tesla machine helps with all that stuff. So if anyone had known him and knew he had these problems and had somehow helped him get into the Tesla Club and got him a Tesla machine, this might not have happened. And this is kind of what I'm saying. Like, it's super, super important. It's incredible how many people, like there's so many Teslamonials. They're just pumping out numerous per day now, because there's I think it's close to 1,500 people in the club now. Like Rob L. Hello, fellow lovers of God and freedom. I've had my Tesla machine a month now. I have rid 32 years of shoulder pain in my left shoulder and 90% in the right. But it's the boost in energy that's the real difference that I've noticed. It helped me to have 15 sessions 3 to 4 times a day and boost my electrolytes. I'm also drinking plasma water in the last week and feel even better. Steady gains in my workouts each week. Learning all the time better ways to use it, and I'm looking forward to working on my cousin's stage 4 cancer to see what we can do. Thanks, Tesla Club. You have changed my life. So that guy had 32 years of shoulder pain. It's basically gone now. And he's got energy like he's never had before. And now he's got all this energy. He's trying to cure like his cousin's cancer and stuff, which he probably will. Like, it's very just normal, those sort of things with the Tesla machine. And here's PC. Hi all, I just wanted to share real life improvement with the Tesla machine. So I was getting a full body massage every 2 weeks for the past 3 months prior to getting the Tesla machine. Lots of muscle knots. It was uncomfortable in certain areas on shoulders, back of legs. Anyway, I used the Tesla bath this week for 2 weeks daily for 30 minutes. Today I had my usual 2-week massage, and hey, presto, no knots in my muscles, no discomfort whatsoever. I checked with the masseuse that she was maintaining the same pressure as before. She said yes, absolutely, and commented how relaxed my muscles were this time. I haven't changed anything in the past 2 weeks apart from adding the Tesla bath to my daily routine. Yeah, it's incredible. The plasma baths. The guy before that mentioned drinking the plasma water so you can charge your water. I just put it on top of my Tesla machine while I'm using it, my water bottle, and then I have a plasma charged water. It's incredible. Like, look at all the stuff I'm doing now. I can do videos like every day like this, no problem. Walk around for hours. I do so much with my family. I do so much when I work. At the Vigilante Insiders Club, I'm in the Tesla Club, I'm in the dojo in the Tesla Club. And a lot of it is because of all the energy I get from the Tesla machine. And if you ever needed a lot of health and energy for the next few years, this is now the time. So I highly recommend it. And even on this trip, last night we went to the Keg, which is a great restaurant here in Canada if you don't know it. Absolutely love their food there. And my wife went to the washroom after we ate, and they have these big heavy doors, and I don't know how she did it, but she slammed that big heavy door on 2 of her fingers. She said the pain was so bad that she felt it up to her elbow, and it felt like, that throbbing? She felt that until we got back to the hotel and put the Tesla machine on it. And then we put the Tesla machine on it, and the swelling she had pretty much went away. And she said about 3/4 or more of the pain was gone pretty much immediately. And today she woke up and she, You know, normally after, you know, jamming her fingers in the door like that, you can imagine that'd be days of pain of those fingers. She's basically back to normal today. That's just another of the cases we've used the Tesla machine on this trip. Oh, and I should mention, the Edmonton Oilers are playing terrible, and it just looks like they're worn out. It looks like they don't have any energy. And it also looks, a lot of them are injured. Like I mentioned, Connor McDavid twisted his ankle. Leon Draisaitl was out for like a month until just recently. Even the Jew, Zach Hyman, was out recently. Those are like their top players. And they're all banged up, and they don't look like they have any energy. And I'm just sitting here thinking, I'm a 4-hour drive from Edmonton right now with my Tesla machine. Now they're actually in Anaheim tonight. But I'm just like, if they just knew about this, they could actually win the Stanley Cup. But I don't know if they're going to at this rate. They look horrible. They look all tired, exhausted, and they're all injured. And that is not, this is just the start of the playoffs. They've got 3 more rounds after this if they make it. They're down 2-1 right now to the Anaheim Ducks, who've been playing pretty good. We'll see. If they tie it up tonight, maybe they'll get through the first round. If they don't, it's pretty much over, unless I get on the Tesla machine. But, you know, no one seems to know about it or care. It's just funny. It's amazing knowing about all these things, and no one seems to know. Anyway, I think I'll leave it there. We're off to our next place tomorrow. You'll see where that is. I actually have a special surprise for everyone coming up in... I don't know if it'll be my next video or the one after that, but there's definitely going to be a special surprise coming up on the next place that we're going to. But yeah, I think I'll leave it there. Trying to think if there's anything else. No, there's not much else. Yeah, just the usual craziness in the world. And mostly, like, you know, ignoring most of it. Like Prince said in my last video, you know, we're not supposed to even know all this stuff, really. Like, you can, and I do, but I can handle it because I do the work and I do the meditation stuff. You know, if you're not doing that stuff, if you don't have a Tesla machine, if you're not meditating, I don't know how you're actually making it through. But if you're doing that stuff, it's no problem whatsoever. So anyway, make sure you do the work. I should mention again, if you want to get started on doing the work, an excellent place to start is the Game Changers, which we did a couple of years ago. Just go to dollarvigilante.com/gamechangers. And that'll give you like the basic starting points for doing the work that I've been talking about. So if you've always been like, what does he mean do the work? Well, get the Game Changers, and that'll tell you how to do it, both physically, mentally, in so many different ways. It actually shows you all of it. It even includes financially. I even talk about how to financially change the game, how you can actually make a lot of wealth. And it's all in your own head. Actually, everything is in your own head, including all of this.
Dice Helios dice, let's go Oilers.
Let's go Oilers, let's go Tambos.
Muy bien. What the fuck is this Israeli magician talking about? Will he shut the fuck up already? Any minute now. Come on, I need this ballroom. Where's the damn assassin? Finally. Works every time.
Come on, Spider Cash. Now's your time to shine. Fuck, I can't do it. Not tonight. Not tonight.
Don't look at her. Do not look at her, Bobby. I'm finally free. This is it. Sweet freedom.
Butter chicken, tikka masala, biryani, naan, samosa, tandoori chicken, curry, dal vindaloo, palak paneer.